Election season is here. The City of Miami Beach has created this special Vote Miami Beach program authorized by the City Commission to inform our citizens about the upcoming general and special elections. During the November 2nd, 2021 general election, the City of Miami Beach will be conducting a special election for the purpose of submitting 4 ballot questions to the city's voters. During this program, you will have an opportunity to hear from the candidates and to learn about the 4 Miami Beach ballot questions. A printed voter's guide with these questions, along with objective, impartial, and fact-based explanations, was mailed to every Miami Beach household. This voter's guide is also posted online at www.votemiamibeach.com. If for some reason you did not receive a copy and would like one, please reach out to the office of the city clerk at 305-673-7411 or visit the city's clerk's website, www.votemiamibeach.com. The City Commission consists of 6 elected commissioners and an elected mayor. Commissioners are elected for a term of 4 years with a term limit of 2 terms. Terms are staggered so that half of the commission is elected every 2 years. The mayor is also elected every 2 years with a term limit of 3 terms. The November 2nd general election has been called to fill the mayor's seat, currently held by Dan Gelber, the Group 1 commission seat, currently held by Mickey Steinberg, the Group 2 commission seat, currently held by Mark Samuelin, and the Group 3 commission seat, currently held by Michael Gongora. 5 candidates have qualified to run for mayor. 4 candidates have qualified to run for commissioner in Group 1, and 4 candidates have qualified to run for commissioner in Group 3. Commissioner Mark Samuelin, who currently holds the Group 2 commission seat, was automatically re-elected without opposition. The candidates will speak in today's program in the order that their names will appear on the official ballot. Each candidate will have up to 5 minutes to speak. The City of Miami Beach has not edited these speeches in any way. The 5 candidates for Miami Beach Mayor are Jean Marie Echemendia, Ronnie Eath, Dan Gelber, Carlos SP4 Enrique Gutierrez, and Gus Manesis. Here is mayoral candidate Jean Marie Echemendia.
Hi, I'm Jean Marie Echemendia, candidate number 260 in the November 2nd elections for mayor of Miami Beach. I'm going to form a front to fight crime and violence. We will no longer tolerate the disrespect of residents and property. As mayor, I will have zero tolerance for these life-changing issues. It is urgent to stop this cancer of crime and chaos that has hindered our usual lives. I'm not afraid to change everything. I'm here for order, justice, and progress to prevail in Miami Beach. I will implement justice for fearless change. Vote for me, Jean Marie Echemendia, as your new mayor of Miami Beach on November 2nd. Hola, soy Jean Marie Echemendia, cubana-americana, candidata en las elecciones de noviembre 2 para la alcaldía de Miami Beach. Yo voy a formar un frente de lucha en contra del crimen y la violencia. Ya no aguantamos más la falta de respeto a los residentes y las propiedades. Como alcaldesa, no tendré ninguna tolerancia con estos problemas que nos han cambiado la vida a todos. Es urgente parar este cáncer del crimen y chusmería que han entorpecido nuestra vida habitual. Yo no tengo miedo a cambiar todo. Yo estoy aquí para prevalezca el orden, la justicia y el progreso en Miami Beach. Voy a implementar una justicia sin miedo. Vota por mí el 2 de noviembre, Jean Marie Echemendia, como su alcaldesa de Miami Beach.
Here is mayoral candidate
Ronnie Eath.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Eath, the next mayor of Miami Beach. You know, they say that Miami is the magic city, but Miami Beach, well, it's magical. We all know, however, that magic sometimes is an illusion. Think about it. We've got beautiful blue skies. This place has been made famous through celebrities and TV and movie. You cannot turn on the TV for more than an hour without seeing something being filmed in the city of Miami Beach. But you know what? The curtains do not match the drapes. We are constantly in the headlines for all of the wrong reasons. Felonies, murders, riots, all of the wrong reasons. We make national and international news. The felony rate in the city of Miami Beach is more than double the national average. In fact, 1 in 100 citizens of the city of Miami Beach are at risk of being victim of a serious violent felony. This cannot go on any longer. On top of that, the absurdity is 90% of the cases, when they go over the bridge, they get dismissed by the state's attorney. Why? Simple. Lack of police presence and a lack of prosecution. We have created the absolute best, most perfect incubator for criminals to come here and ply their trade. This can't go on any longer. We need to stop doing this. This high crime rate hurts our businesses, it hurts our economy, it hurts our real estate market, and it hurts the environment for our families to grow up in. You know, let's think about the positives though. What do we have here that's positive? We do have a great environment for business. We do have great schools. We have amazing beaches. We have great restaurants. We have great culture. But you know what? People aren't coming here to use that anymore. We have direct competition right over the bridge, and all the policies that the government seems to be putting in place right now seem to drive our residents and our tourists over to the other side of the bridge, to Brickell, to downtown, to Wynwood, and to Midtown. We need to stop this. We need to keep those tourists, we need to keep our residents here, and we need to attract top businesses from all over the country and top residents to come here and move to the city of Miami Beach. It's a very simple solution. We need to increase our police department. We need to increase funding. We need to go to the state and request that the state or the federal government help us with our budget to increase the protection that we need here. We also need to have our own judge and legal system here. We need our own state's attorneys here so that the cases don't get dismissed when they go over the bridge. If we do that, if we proactively police for the first 90 days after I'm elected mayor, you will see a huge difference in the caliber of tourists that come here, and you will see a huge difference and impact on our own quality of life. I am Ronnie Ith, the next mayor of Miami Beach. Hope to see you soon.
Here is mayoral candidate Dan Gelber.
I'm Dan Gelber, and I'm running for re-election for mayor because this is the only hometown I've ever known. And I want to keep doing everything I can to make sure it remains a place where my children will want to raise their children. Now, you can't choose the challenges you face, but how you respond matters. I never obviously expected to spend the last 18 months presiding over a response to a deadly pandemic, but I am proud of how our city acquitted itself, and I've never been weak-kneed about the kind of response this crisis demanded, often telling our community what I thought they needed to hear, even if it was difficult medicine to swallow. Now, no city did more to keep its residents safe. And of the 10 largest cities in Miami-Dade, Miami Beach has the lowest COVID mortality rate. Now, disorder in the so-called entertainment district has required tough words and even tougher action. But I have demanded, and we have provided a substantial increase in our police presence in the short term, with even more officers in the process of being hired. I have also articulated a vision of what a live, work, play South Beach should and can be, and I've taken on a business model that I believe has only contributed to this disorder. Now, I refuse to kick this can down the road, and I will continue to speak out and pursue reforms, even if it upsets those invested in the current model. We just can no longer be a 24-hour party town where anything goes. And I will do everything I can as mayor, everything, to transform this area into what it needs to be. With so many recent challenges, it's easy to forget that we live in paradise. We are undergoing a true parks renaissance, enhancing our arts and culture profile in ways that elevates us, and our city is leading the way in environmental and social responsibility. We are also reinvesting in our infrastructure, thanks to the GO bonds you overwhelmingly approved, which are funding transformational projects to elevate quality of life in our city. So many want to live here and flock to our community from all over the country and the world. We know why. But we have much to do. Together, we can make Miami Beach even stronger, safer, more beautiful, and more resilient. I am number 262 on your ballot, and I hope I can count on your vote and support on November 2nd or during early voting, which starts October 18th. To learn more about me, you can visit dangelber.com. And if you ever have a question, you just want to get in touch or talk or text me, go to my cell, 305-345-7879. My cell is 305-345-7879. Thanks for your consideration, and thank you for the honor and privilege of being your mayor.
Here is mayoral candidate Carlos SP4 Enrique Gutierrez.
Buenos dias and good afternoon or morning. I'm hoping that you adhere to my message today. I am seeking your support as your next mayor for the next 2 years. I am not a career politician or wishing to make a career out of mayorship. I am here for you and make sure that the city is proper and good and people for everyone. We have certain issues that have been a controversy since 1821 and before. So these controversies need to be settled because the governor of Florida supposedly is the intendant over Cuba. And the island of Cuba, the whole Caribbean islands, they are up for grabs. Last one was 1982, where Britain went over to the Falkland Islands. They didn't want to leave, Argentina didn't want to leave it. So we have the same issue with Cuba now. And Cuba is aspartame because the governor of Florida is the intendant over Cuba to govern the land like we started with mayorships. As your mayor, I'm not looking to be a career politician. I'm looking to implement a cultural reproduction and social reproduction right here in South Beach. Why South Beach? Well, apparently there's public enemy number one, who influenced since the era of prohibition until recently. He's still influencing our children, walking around the streets with baggy pants, no moral values. If we are going to influence our citizens to do right and have good housing and good opportunities for our employees, our number one stakeholders need adequate housing. They don't need a privateer selling Airbnb or what have you, low short-term rentals. They need good people to monitor the city, a trustee, not a privateer trying to make money and secretly fund their own separate account. We have police force. They should have a reasonable payment. And that police force should be honest and integrity and not seek other ways to make other privateers benefit over the citizens, the stakeholders. If they're not happy, our employees are not happy, our tourists are not going to be happy. And if our tourists aren't happy, who are they? They come every year during spring break. These are college students, and they're learning, and rather than getting in trouble in their college, university, they come here. Then we have other communities because we have a peaceful community that allows certain things at certain times, and we have a force that's going to show that we also have moral values. These moral values start with you, with our children, and we need to start implementing more colleges, clubs, and unions because we've neglected the people's right to unionize because we had Al Capone right here, 93 Palm Avenue. That gentleman is worse than a fascist. Worse, he was throwing acid on people, union busting, block busting, all those federal crimes should not be happening today. What we need is a trustee that's going to be a mayor, and it's going to split the ties when our commissioners come up with an ordinance. These ordinances should be followed, and everyone should be part of the community, rather than being, we say in Spanish, chivastas, making up lies. Nobody should be making up lies. We should be honest, tell the truth, and move forward, and not try to make money off of another person. Yes, we want to build a good city, but we don't want history to dictate our future. We want to make sure that the Art Deco is promoting art and not protecting history that was tainted. For some reason, neutrality and the Spanish territory, West Florida had 1 star, East Florida. What is the truth is my Spanish records were classified for many years. Today you have the opportunity to allow me to speak English y español para arreglar lo que estaba roto. Mucho gusto, te quiero mucho y ojalá que tú me escuches, que necesito la oportunidad de una petición que no me permitieron entrar en dos edificios on Alton Road, 150 and 200, the Marina. Those buildings, south of 5th, need somebody to oversee and not try to make money and sell it, use and abuse. Look at Champagne Towers. That's on private property, but individual people were not owning it. Corporations, privateers. How do we know who's who? If they don't vote and we don't have anybody here, who's the real intendant over the people? Peopling is part of the peace treaty between Paris, that was signed in Paris. Not with Spain, but with the Spanish Empire that was here. We don't want an empire, imperialism.
Here is mayoral candidate Gus Meneses.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gus Meneses, and I'm looking forward to being your next Miami Beach mayor. In the upcoming weeks, in November 2nd's election, I will invite you into my personal day-to-day life. I want you all to understand who I am, and what makes me tick when you cast that ballot and that vote for me. I am looking forward to be serving you and helping you as your next Miami Beach mayor. Thank you very much, and hopefully I see you all soon.
The four candidates for Commissioner in Group 1 are Adrian Gonzalez, Kristin Rosen Gonzalez, Raquel Pacheco, and Blake Young. Here's Commissioner candidate Adrian Gonzalez.
My name is Adrian Gonzalez, and I'm your candidate for Miami Beach Commission Group 1. My punch number is 266 on the ballot. I am raised, educated, and now second-generation small business owner on the city of Miami Beach. I am the proud owner of David's Cafe. I am continuing my family's legacy, David's Cafe, which has been a fixture in our community for over 4 decades. I am a family man, the son of Cuban immigrants who fled to a better place, life in the United States. I am a devoted husband to my wife, Laura, and I am a proud father of 2 wonderful boys, Dylan and Theo. I am a public servant, not a politician. I have been active in our community for years. I currently am president of the Lakeview Homeowners Association and am on board member of the Marine Waterfront Property Protection Authority. In past, I've served as president of Lincoln Road Mercantile Association, as a member of the Miami Beach Transportation Parking Board, and a member of the VCA Convention Authority Board. I am running to be your next Miami Beach Commissioner, so I can give back to our city and continue serving our community. My campaign has been a genuine homegrown grassroots electorate. I will continue visiting with voters door to door to earn your community's trust. My focus is based on prioritizing residents over politics. I am committed to listening to your concerns and improving the quality of life of our residents. Our city government and its impact upon daily lives is too important for us who call Miami Beach our home. Therefore, we need to elect the right person who will lead us forward in a positive direction. Let me share with you my platform for our future. Vigorously protecting the quality of life of Miami Beach residents. First and foremost, we must begin finding real solutions to address the city's crime problem. We have to prioritize more police patrols and enforce our current laws to help make our community safer and less appealing to criminal element. Our city leaders must get more serious about the growing problem. I will invest in future infrastructure and flooding prevention, plans to keep the city dry and protect homeowners and business owners' property values. Flooding and sea level rising is becoming a more intimate threat to our community. I will combat traffic by supporting innovative modes of transportation and finding ways to better connect Miami Beach to the mainland. I will oppose development projects that adversely impact our traffic problems and quality of life. I will encourage excellence in our Miami Beach schools and make up for safe and broad shortfalls of vision and creativity. I will provide proper financial oversight and protect taxpayers' money, including ensuring that our city maintains a proper city millage rate so that our residents receive a high-quality service for the tax and fees they pay. But my main priority is to represent residents over the special interest and do what is best for the hometown at City Commission. Please visit my website to learn more about me. My campaign, www.adriangonzalezmb.com. I am Adrian Gonzalez, respectfully asking for your vote by marking number 266 on your ballot for the City of Miami Beach Commission Group 1. A vote for me is a vote for good government at City of Miami Beach Hall. On behalf of myself and my family, thank you for your support.
Here is Commissioner candidate Kristin Rosen Gonzalez.
My name is Dr. Kristin Rosen Gonzalez, and I'm a candidate for the Miami Beach Commission Group 1. Let me tell you a little about myself. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children, Isabella, Pablo, and Francesca, who all graduated from Beach High, and just recently, I became an empty nester. I'm a busy woman with a full life, a tenured faculty member at Miami-Dade College, a homeowner here on Miami Beach, a business owner of the waterfront restaurant Cafe Bernie, with my partner in both love and life, Chef Bernie Matz. I'm a realtor, a political activist, and I was your commissioner elected by you in 2015. I love our city. I chose to raise my children here, and God willing, I hope to live out a long and healthy life in our beautiful resort town of Miami Beach. The other day, I was meeting with the South of 5th resident, a prominent lawyer who's fighting the city on some short-term rentals in his neighborhood. And when he finished explaining how he believes the city isn't following the rules, he looked at me, slammed his papers down on the table in front of him and said, "Miami Beach is a broken city." He started to name the different departments that he thought were broken, and I said to myself, are we a broken city? Unfortunately, and given the metrics of functioning local government, like keeping our city clean and safe, I have to say yes. I believe that Miami Beach is broken and in dire need of transformative leadership. It's not the city employees' fault, because leadership sets the tone. So to fix our problems like crime, short-term rentals ruining our neighborhoods, traffic, homelessness, flooding, and corruption, we need to hire the best administrators possible and elect the right people. I don't know how much you know about Miami Beach government, but we are governed by something called the Miami Beach Charter, which is our local constitution. Miami Beach is a strong manager form of government, which means that we have 6 part-time commissioners and a mayor. These guys set the policies, but these policies only work if they are successfully implemented by our strong manager, a CEO, appointed by the commission, and this person holds all the power. Over the past 8 years, the mayor and commission have been setting the wrong policies. They've increased density with no traffic solution, circumvented our city charter so developers could build without going to a referendum vote, and they've allowed special interests to influence them and our administrative leadership. This, I believe, is why we are at failure. The good news is that change is possible. 6 months ago, we hired a new city manager, a new CEO, a woman, Alina Hudak, and I would like to give her the benefit of the doubt. She has a massive job ahead of her, hundreds of millions of dollars in capital improvements projects that need to be finished, crime and delinquency in South Beach, areas of the North and South that are abandoned and blighted and need redevelopment, not to mention the existential threat of sea level rise. We've got a lot of work to do. As your commissioner, I pledge to hold our CEO and her staff accountable. At the beginning of September, our CEO said she was going to wage a war on crime and delinquency in South Beach, and we've recently seen some change, an increased police presence, DUI checkpoints in our entertainment district, and for that, I commend her. But like I said earlier, we must hold her accountable. She only now began enforcing our laws, and she must keep this up until we see a serious change on our streets. In terms of what will I do as your commissioner, here is my pledge. I will only vote for policies and appointments that benefit residents. I will vote against any bad procurement contracts for the city. I pledge to protect municipal properties and follow our Miami Beach City Charter and Resident Bill of Rights. I pledge to focus on marketing our convention center, a $1 billion asset that is not realizing its full potential. And I pledge to oversee new zoning that benefits residents, not just commercial tourism interests. The positive part in all of this is that we are Miami Beach. We're iconic. We're an international destination and people want to come here. Our residential and commercial real estate is booming. There are new projects everywhere. We have new luxury hotel brands like Bulgari and Aman Hotels choosing Miami Beach as their South Florida flag. Miami Beach has an economy unlike any other because when you plant a seed here, it grows and blossoms and produces wealth.
I remain optimistic that Miami Beach can and will do better. We just need to elect honest people who are running for office for all the right reasons, and I'm one of those people. On November 2nd, please remember to vote, and hopefully you will check Kristin Rosen Gonzalez, number 267 on your ballot. Together, with the right people in place, we will see real change. Thank you.
Here is Commissioner candidate Raquel Pacheco.
Hello, I'm Raquel Pacheco, candidate for Miami Beach Commission in Group 1. Before I tell you about my priorities as your next commissioner, allow me to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm the single mother to an incredible 8-year-old boy named Owen. Owen attends South Point Elementary School, where I've been an active member of our PTA. Public service is a calling I discovered early in life. When at 19 years of age, I enrolled in the Connecticut Army National Guard, and after years of distinguished service, I became the first woman named Soldier of the Year in the state's history. I'm a small business owner who has remained active in our local community. I serve on Miami Beach's Personnel Board, and I am proud to have served as the president of Miami Beach United as a resident activist. I'm running for commissioner because now, more than ever, our city needs new, stable, qualified leadership. As your next commissioner, I will tackle 4 pressing issues: our rising crime and violence, specifically in South Beach, runaway overdevelopment, condo and building safety, and the effects of sea level rise. To deal with crime and violence, I propose that we double the number of police officers on foot patrol in the entertainment district, that we crack down on club promoters and operators who put profits ahead of our public safety, and that we fight against short-term rentals that turn our neighborhoods into nightclubs, and that we invest in our police department and promote true community policing that is proven to reduce crime. As a former HOA president, I understand firsthand the challenges of maintaining our aging buildings. As your commissioner, I will demand that our buildings be fully inspected every 20 years. I will fight for transparency from condo associations and their contractors. And I will advocate for low-interest, government-backed loans to help fixed-income residents deal with the unexpected and high assessments. As a resident activist and past president of Miami Beach United, I fought against runaway overdevelopment. Development projects that infringe upon our neighborhoods and make dealing with sea level rise more difficult need to be balanced with the quality of life of our residents. Now, we know that the secret is out, and everyone wants to live on Miami Beach, but our growth has to be smart and our vision needs to be clear. Plus, there's so much more we can do. For example, we need to enhance our green spaces and establish more parks that will help Miami Beach be even more enjoyable and attractive. I have faced many challenges over the years, from being a young woman in the military to dealing with a condo owner who refused needed assessments. But I persevered and I held the line. Our HOA even won a frivolous lawsuit with the help of attorney Michael Gangora. I'm not perfect, and like most of you, I have faced some challenges along the way. But I am proud that I have been able to provide a great home in life for my son and our family. I chose to live in Miami Beach and to raise my child here. I love Miami Beach, and I reject the notion that we must be mean and nasty when we disagree about real substantive issues. Miami Beach is an incredible place to live, play, and visit, and we must come together to face our challenges. We need to reject the politics of name-calling and innuendos and get back to the serious business of improving the quality of life of our residents and making Miami Beach the best place to live in the world. I'm Raquel Pacheco, and I'm asking for your vote on November 2nd, ballot number 268. To learn more, go to raquel.vote.
Here is Commissioner candidate Blake Young.
Greetings to all. My name is Blake Young, running for Miami Beach Commissioner. I'll be on the ballot November 2nd, and I would appreciate your consideration into my campaign. My ballot number is 269, and you can learn more about me at blakeyoung.org. First, a little bit about my campaign. Safety and security is number 1. The environment, especially the bay and beach water, is number 2. And we must spend our money responsibly. That's very important as well. From the thousands I've spoken with, I know that crime is a big concern, and I've heard so many complaints about our current state of affairs. But I know through leadership and teamwork, we can rise above and chart a different course for our community. There are so many ways that we can improve with more police, more enforcement, the use of technology, and of course, working with our business owners to attract law-abiding customers. The environment. It's so important, yet we do so little. The fish kills, the bacterium in our water, and the never-ending no swims is completely unacceptable. And we must do better and will do better if I'm elected. Finally, we must spend our money more responsibly. We waste so much money on certain things and then we go underfunded on others. We must do better. We should prioritize spending on our roads and sidewalks, the sewers and stormwater runoff, and of course leaving money for life safety. Now a little bit about my background. I was raised in Charlotte, North Carolina. I went to the University of Utah with a major in political science and a minor in Japanese. I graduated, went to work as a contract salesman for an industrial component manufacturer. I'm the president of the Regatta Condominium Association on Indian Creek, past president of another building on West Avenue, and I also have a license to manage communities. So you can see I'm good with people, I'm good with the community, it's a passion of mine. Finally, the donation-free campaign is a campaign free of special interest and big money. It's a campaign where we're concerned about our community, the residents, and our well-being at large. When I first started running for office, so many politicians told me that running for office was all about money, but I'm standing here today to prove that it's not. I'm not the perfect candidate, but I'm running the perfect way. All my campaign workers work for free, just like me. No compensations, no donation, just shared work and a communal bond. We've knocked on thousands of doors, collected over 1,000 petition signatures, and sent tens of thousands of messages. And I'm proud of my team. So if you're tired of the crime, and if you're tired of us not doing enough for the environment, and if you're tired of the wasteful spending, and if you're tired of politicians favoring donations over direct voter contact, then I'm going to be the candidate for you. I'm just a normal resident that wants things cleaner, safer, and more professional. Thank you for your time and consideration. My name is Blake Young, running for Miami Beach Commissioner. My ballot number is 269, and you can read more about me at blakeyoung.org.
Commissioner Mark Samulin, who currently holds the Group 2 commission seat, was automatically re-elected without opposition. Here is Commissioner Mark Samulin.
Hello, I'm Commissioner Mark Samulin, running for re-election in Group 2. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your commissioner these last 4 years. The city we love is at a critical time in its history, and the stakes couldn't be higher for this election. I have spent literally years talking with thousands of residents, and you have told me loud and clear what your priorities are. And public safety is absolutely at the top of the list, and we must do better. Resident quality of life is a close second, as well as flooding, transportation, and more. Before I outline my qualifications to address these important challenges, I'd like to share a bit about myself. I come from proud working class roots. My father was a hairstylist and my mother was a homemaker, and I was the first in my family to go to college. I was a young national chess master and now support scholastic chess across Miami Beach. I bought my first home in Miami Beach in 2003 and live on the Venetian Islands with my life partner, Laura Dominguez. Let me tell you more about my qualifications and why I hope to earn your trust and vote. I have served as your commissioner for the last 4 years and also was appointed by Mayor Gelber as chair of the Land Use and Sustainability Committee. I am proud of my record and especially the game-changing referendums we passed in 2018, including the GEO bond, the brand new Office of Inspector General, and a convention center hotel. Public safety and resident quality of life have been and will continue to be my top priorities. And in my next 4 years, you have my commitment to do everything possible to continue to address these critical concerns. I will continue to apply my specialized expertise as a successful business executive and engineer. I will stand for smart, ethical government that always puts residents first. My decisions will always be made with one single focus: what is in the long-term best interest of our community and our residents. While I hope my message has been convincing, don't just listen to me. I'm honored to have the support of Mayor Gelber, Commissioners Minor, Steinberg, Gongora, and Areola, and support from County Mayor Levine Cava and County Commissioners Higgins and Heyman. And I'm also proud of the endorsements I've received from so many organizations, including SAVE, Equality Florida, the Fire Union, the Police Union, So Be Safe, Miami Realtors, and more. Perhaps it is my business and engineering expertise, could be my track record of accomplishment, or maybe it's because they trust me to always do the right thing. The choice in Group 2 couldn't be clearer. In me, you have a serious community leader with a proven track record of success. I thank you for your time and ask you to vote and re-elect me, Mark Samuelin, ballot number 271, as your commissioner in Group 2. We have lots to do to improve our beautiful city. I am confident that working together, the best is yet to come for Miami Beach. Let's do this, Miami Beach.
The 4 candidates for commission in Group 3 are Mike B. Barano, Melissa Beatty, Stephen Cohen, and Alex Fernandez. Here is Commissioner candidate Melissa Beatty.
Hello, I'm Melissa Beatty, candidate 273 for Miami Beach City Commission in Group 3. I'm a mother of 3 school-aged children, a homeowner, and the president of my homeowners association. And I'm running for commissioner because I am concerned about the future of Miami Beach. Our elected leaders in Miami Beach are failing us, and our city is headed in the wrong direction. Crime is flooding our streets, the rising waters are flooding our neighborhoods, and as president of the Venetian Islands Homeowners Association, I've experienced firsthand the mismanagement and ineptness flooding City Hall. We deserve better. Better than city leaders and candidates who are indecisive, lack the will to be bold, and who are financially supported by many of the special interests responsible for creating an environment like this in Miami Beach. We are not Atlantic City or Las Vegas. We are Miami Beach, and our city has all the elements to be one of the best cities to live and to work. Yet, our city is slowly falling into decay because of individuals who are more interested in building their personal brand or enriching themselves off public office. Let's face it, our community has become one of lawlessness, out-of-control behavior in the entertainment district, and where an anything-goes attitude prevails with tourists. Too many residents I speak with tell me they no longer recognize our city and worry about police officers being taken out of residential neighborhoods to deal with the chaos in the entertainment district. It's time to send someone to City Hall who will stand up to the special interests and be a voice for all Miami Beach residents. A candidate with the political will to implement change immediately and with a plan to fight crime by requiring a mandatory minimum of law enforcement resources dedicated to residential neighborhoods. Not just increasing police presence and patrolmen in the entertainment district, but a strong step up on enforcement. Limiting and highly regulating scooters, slingshots, jet skis, and party boat rentals that have become a safety hazard to all. Tripling the number of code compliance officers with intensified enforcement on the bad operators. Investing in technology to fight crime, such as installing mobile license plate readers at every entrance of the city, and a live crime prevention center. And let's broadly communicate these measures nationally to deter the visitors who are the troublemakers. The number one job of local government is maintaining the safety and security of its residents. Our city government has been neglectful in its duty, and it's time for us as a community to move forward and start getting things done and declare war on the crime epidemic ravaging our city. In addition to fighting the crime epidemic, Recent studies published show Miami Beach will be underwater in the next 30 years, yet the city has stopped all sea level rise pump program projects. Sea level rise isn't a Democratic, Republican, or nonpartisan issue. It's a Miami Beach issue. It's incumbent upon our elected officials to see to it that Miami Beach is preserved for generations to come by finishing the stormwater projects that were started several years ago. Ultimately, who suffers the most when we don't get things done? Residents and their families. That's why I'm running for commission, to move the ball forward, to effectuate meaningful change in the city we all love, Miami Beach. Like many of you, I am tired of the inaction. So, send someone to City Hall who will be a voice for all residents, not someone who's lining their pockets with money from the very establishments and people who are contributing to our city's decay. Someone who's running, not because she needs elected office to further her professional career, but because she cares deeply about her family and yours. Above all, show you value our city by voting for a candidate that prioritizes the residents. I'm Melissa Beatty, the People's Candidate for City Commission.
Here is Commissioner candidate Stephen Cohen.
My name is Stephen Cohen, and I am running for Miami Beach Commissioner in Group 3. I have devoted my life to making Miami Beach a better place to live, work, and raise a family. I was born at Mount Sinai Medical Center and raised in South Florida, and I am now running for City Commissioner to improve the safety of our neighborhoods, make our city government accountable to the voters, and get results for Miami Beach taxpayers. For me, Miami Beach taxpayers and middle-class families come first. My core belief is that our elected leaders should always put our needs above party politics to get our economy working again, to reduce crime, and to ensure Miami Beach remains an affordable place for the middle class. We must always remember it's the interests of the people that must be served, not the interests of the politicians. As a civic leader in Miami Beach, I have dedicated myself to improving our quality of life, whether it's efforts to improve our safety and reduce crime, advocating for a more accountable and transparent city government, or fighting for more affordable health care and housing for our seniors. I have led successful efforts that have made a difference. Knowing how crucial it is to protect our beaches and waterways, I have led and continue to lead mass cleanup efforts from North Beach Oceanside Park all the way down to South Point Park. As an active member of Temple Moses in North Beach and a sponsor of Temple Emmanuel in South Beach, I have dedicated myself to helping those most impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic by volunteering at local food drives for seniors in need. I have 2 decades of experience balancing budgets, keeping payroll, and building successful businesses. As a member of the Miami Association of Realtors, with a background in real estate investment and e-commerce creating jobs, balancing budget, and building successful ventures, I know what it takes to put Miami Beach back to work, help our small businesses, and reduce our tax burden. The private sector and entrepreneurial experience is sorely lacking in our city government. If we want better results out of City Hall, from lower taxes to better infrastructure, then we need leaders representing us who understand what it means to balance a budget, meet payroll, and solve complex problems with creative solutions. I hope to earn your vote on November 2nd, because as your next commissioner, I will always put us first as I fight to get Miami Beach back on track. Please vote for me, Stephen Cohen.
Here is Commissioner candidate Alex Fernandez.
Every morning, Miami Beach residents wake up to an amazing paradise. We are blessed to live steps away from a glorious sunrise, 7 miles of beaches, amazing restaurants, hotels, and nightlife, and beautiful parks like no others. But our community is being tested like never before. I am Alex Fernandez, and I am excited to be running to serve as your city commissioner. As a 15-year resident of this community, I know the challenges in front of us can be overcome with the right leadership. Our challenges cannot overshadow the greatness that our city has to offer. I fundamentally believe that if we bring people together from all parts of Miami Beach, there is no problem too big for us to solve. I have had the privilege of serving our community as a volunteer on several city boards. I have led on a number of issues, and I feel well poised to address them as your next Miami Beach City Commissioner. My service on the Police Citizens Relations Committee has shown me that public safety is a core issue for our residents. As a member of the Miami Beach Planning Board, I appreciate the importance of addressing smart strategic development that follows our core values of resiliency, tackling sea level rise, and preparing for climate change. We must preserve the history that makes up the fabric of Miami Beach, but at the same time, we cannot deny the strategic development needs to happen in areas like North Beach. And as your city commissioner, I will continue my long-standing commitment to supporting crime-fighting initiatives as my #1 priority. We must support our law enforcement with the sufficient bodies to keep our residents and visitors safe through high-visibility protocols and the use of technologies such as cameras and the Real-Time Crime Center. The residents of our community deserve a fully funded police department and code enforcement to meet the demands of our growth and density. And I will continue to advocate for the full funding of our homeless services as a budget priority in Miami Beach. To this extent, I remain committed to seeing community court concept I advocated for as chair of the Police Citizens Relations Committee become a reality in Miami Beach. And I will work with our partners in the criminal justice system for an assigned judge to the community court to address homeless, petty crime, and municipal ordinance offenders at a more localized level to ensure proper justice for the community. As you can see, my many years of civic involvement have well prepared me to tackle the issues our city faces. I understand them, and I am ready to lead, to deep dive into addressing them, and to serve as your city commissioner. Public service is a passion. It is born out of my family's story of fleeing communist Cuba and finding opportunity in our community. As a first-generation Cuban American, I deeply value the trust placed in elected officials by you, the voter. This is why my promise to you is simple. I will always lead with heart, integrity, and a commitment to do good. I care deeply about our city, and I proudly call Miami Beach home. My husband Robert and I want to make this city better and ensure that our greatest potential as a community is always achieved. And I know we can get there by working together as one community. Mi nombre es Alex Fernandez y humildemente le pido su voto este 2 de noviembre. I hope to earn your trust and support on November 2nd because I am ready to serve you and only you. Thank you.
Now, before we share the ballot questions, let's review the best way to vote that works for you and all the important dates you need to know. Choose the way to vote that works for you. Some voters like going through the ballot on their own time in the comfort of their own home and voting by mail. Others prefer heading out to an early voting location on a day that is convenient for them and casting their ballot before Election Day. Then there are those voters who enjoy the tradition of going to their precinct on Election Day to vote. Voters who vote early or on Election Day can rest assured that the Miami-Dade County Elections Department is taking every precaution to protect the health and safety of voters and poll workers as we deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. Those who want to vote but would prefer not to venture out should strongly consider voting by mail. Any registered Miami-Dade County voter can request to vote by mail by going online at www.iamelectionready.org and selecting Vote by Mail, or by calling 305-499-VOTE 8683 or 305-499-8480. The deadline to request a vote-by-mail ballot for the November 2nd, 2021 general and special elections is 5 p.m. on Saturday, October 23rd, 2021. The deadline for the Miami-Dade County Elections Department to receive your vote-by-mail ballot is 7 p.m. on Election Day, November 2nd, 2021. The deadline to request a vote-by-mail ballot for the Tuesday, November 16, 2021 runoff election, if one is necessary, is 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 6, 2021. The deadline for the Miami-Dade County Elections Department to receive your vote-by-mail ballot is 7 p.m. on Election Day, Tuesday, November 16, 2021. Vote-by-mail ballots may be returned as follows. By mail, a vote-by-mail ballot may be returned by delivery through the United States Postal Service. The ballot must be received by the Miami-Dade County Elections Department by 7 p.m. on the General and Special Elections Day, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, and if a runoff election is necessary, by 7 p.m. on Tuesday, November 16th, 2021. At a secure ballot drop box located at an early voting site. You don't even have to go inside. Vote-by-mail ballots can be dropped into a secure ballot drop box located outside of any of the 2 Miami Beach early voting locations: Miami Beach City Hall, first floor conference room, 1700 Convention Center Drive, and North Shore Branch Library, 7501 Collins Avenue. Just look for the official ballot drop box banner. Drop boxes are drive up and are safe. Please bring your ID with you. For a list of drop-box dates and times, visit www.votemiamibeach.com or call the office of the city clerk at 305-673-7411 or 711. At the Elections Department, you may also return your vote-by-mail ballot at the Miami-Dade County Elections Department main office at 2700 Northwest 87th Avenue, Miami, Florida 33172, or at the Voter Information Center located in the lobby of the Stephen P. Clark Center, 111 Northwest 1st Street, Miami, Florida 33128. On Election Day, if a voter waits until Election Day to submit their vote-by-mail ballot, they can drop it off either at the Miami-Dade County Elections Department main office at 2700 Northwest 87th Avenue, Miami, Florida 33172, at the Voter Information Center located in the lobby of the Stephen P. Clark Center, 111 Northwest 1st Street, Miami, Florida 33128, or the voter can opt to vote in person at their precinct once the election board confirms that the voter's vote-by-mail ballot has not been received. After you submit your vote-by-mail ballot, you can track your ballot to see when your ballot is accepted. To do so, visit www.iamelectionready.org and select Vote by Mail. Vote early. Voting early allows you to cast your ballot before Election Day. If you're a registered voter, you can vote at any of the 2 Miami Beach early voting sites, located at Miami Beach City Hall, first floor conference room, 1700 Convention Center Drive, and at the North Shore Branch Library, 7501 Collins Avenue. Early voting for the general and special elections is Monday, October 18th through Sunday, October 31st, 2021. For early voting hours, please visit www.votemiamibeach.com or contact the Miami Beach office of the city clerk at 305-673-7411 or 711. Early voting for the runoff election, if one is necessary, will be from Friday, November 12, 2021 through Sunday, November 14, 2021 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Vote on Election Day. Even with other options available, many prefer the tradition of voting on Election Day. If you choose to vote on the General and Special Elections Day, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, and if necessary on the Runoff Election Day, Tuesday, November 16, 2021, you must go to your assigned voting location, which is determined by your home address. Precincts are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Election Day. To find your precinct, contact the Miami-Dade County Elections Department at 305-499-VOTE-8683 or 305-499-8480, or visit their website at www.iamelectionready.org and select Vote on Election Day. COVID-19 health and safety information for in-person voting. To ensure the health and safety of voters and poll workers during in-person voting for the Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021 general and special elections and the Tuesday, November 16, 2021 runoff election, if necessary, amidst the coronavirus pandemic, the Miami-Dade County Elections Department is following the Florida Department of Health and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention guidelines. In-person voting will continue to be offered both through the early voting and on Election Day for those who prefer those voting methods. The Miami-Dade County Elections Department is taking precautions to keep you safe and asks that you assist as well. The Miami-Dade County Elections Department will do the following: provide poll workers with masks and disposable gloves, regularly wipe down common touch points with disinfectant, offer hand sanitizer to all voters upon entering the location, mark the ground with stickers to ensure voters can adhere to social distancing protocols, provide access to bathrooms that have soap and water available for hand washing. What the Miami-Dade County Elections Department is asking from voters. As of the date this voter's guide was filmed, you are required to wear facial coverings to enter the voting location. Please use the hand sanitizer that is provided upon entering and exiting. Review your sample ballot in advance of coming to vote. You can even mark it and bring it with you. Knowing your selections in advance of arriving will speed up the process and allow you to exit the facility faster. Bring a valid ID. Voters with special needs. Every voting location in Miami-Dade County meets Americans with Disabilities Act ADA standards. Each one is equipped with a paper-based voting system that uses touchscreen and/or audio technology, which could help voters who have issues with their eyesight, trouble reading, or disabilities. Now, let's recap other important dates. You must be registered to vote by Monday, October 4th, 2021, to vote in the upcoming general and special elections. You must be registered to vote by October 18th, 2021, to vote in the runoff election if one is necessary. For the general and special elections, vote-by-mail ballots can be requested until 5 p.m. on Saturday, October 23rd, and must be received by no later than 7 p.m. on Election Day, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. For the runoff election, if one is necessary, vote-by-mail ballots can be requested until 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 6th, and must be received by no later than 7 p.m. on Election Day, Tuesday, November 16, 2021. If you obtain a vote-by-mail ballot and then decide to vote either at an early voting location or in your designated Election Day precinct, it is recommended that you take that vote-by-mail ballot with you and present it to the election clerk. As a reminder, the General and Special Elections Day is Tuesday, November 2nd. Polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. Runoff Election Day, if necessary, is Tuesday, November 16th. Polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. During early voting, Miami Beach voters may vote at any of the 2 Miami Beach early voting sites located at Miami Beach City Hall, First Floor Conference Room, 1700 Convention Center Drive, and at the North Shore Branch Library, 7501 Collins Avenue. Early voting for the general and special elections is Monday, October 18th through Sunday, October 31st, 2021. For early voting hours, please visit www.votemiamibeach.com or contact the Miami Beach office of the city clerk at 305-673-7411 or 711. Early voting for the runoff election, if one is necessary, will be from Friday, November 12, 2021 through Sunday, November 14, 2021 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. On the General and Special Elections Day, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, and if necessary, on the Runoff Election Day, Tuesday, November 16, 2021, you must go to your assigned voting location, which is determined by your home address. Precincts are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Election Day. Now, on to the ballot questions. Over the next portion of this program, we'll share the 4 Miami Beach ballot questions. As previously mentioned, a voter's guide with this information, along with corresponding explanations, is also available online at www.miamibeachfl.gov. These municipal ballot questions will appear on the special election ballot following any federal, state, and county issues. Miami Beach Referendum 1. The first ballot question is as follows: Amending lease of city property, Holocaust Memorial Site. The Holocaust Memorial at Dade Boulevard and Meridian Avenue is on city land lease to the Greater Miami Jewish Federation until 2099. Shall City, at no cost to City, extend this lease for 21 additional years and expand the lease premises to include adjacent 12,000 square foot city parking lot, per Resolution 2021-31809, with Federation at its sole expense constructing, operating, and maintaining a 7,000 square foot learning center promoting tolerance and human rights? Here's an explanation of the first ballot question. The city is the owner of the property at 1933-1945 Meridian Avenue, the site of the Holocaust Memorial. On January 26, 2000, the city entered into a 99-year lease for the operation and maintenance of the Holocaust Memorial, which expires on March 7, 2099. The lease. In 2008, the lease was assigned to the Greater Miami Jewish Federation, Inc., a Florida not-for-profit corporation, the Federation, which has operated and maintained the Holocaust Memorial since that time. The Holocaust Memorial encourages visitors to learn about the Holocaust, remember and honor its victims and survivors, and confront issues of genocide, anti-Semitism, and unchecked, divisive movements grounded in hatred. Although the visitor experience of the Holocaust Memorial is impactful, the Holocaust Memorial lacks facilities that would permit the presentation of exchanging exhibits, lectures, and other programming. As a result, many visitors rarely visit the Holocaust Memorial more than once. Accordingly, on July 28, 2021, following 2 public hearings, the Mayor and City Commission adopted Resolution number 2021-31809, approving a proposed amendment to the Lease Amendment, for the city to lease to the Federation the adjacent 12,000 square foot city-owned surface parking lot located at 775 19th Street, additional premises, for the sole purpose of allowing the Federation to construct and operate a new learning center. The Learning Center is intended to activate the Holocaust Memorial through interactive and other programming that would complement the Holocaust Memorial and reach broader audiences by educating students and the public about tolerance and human rights. The Learning Center would consist of approximately 7,000 square feet of space for educational and cultural exhibits, programming, and events, as well as for ancillary uses limited to a gift pavilion for the sale of commemorative pictures and similar personal items, and a cafe serving light fare not to exceed 1,000 square feet. The lease amendment also includes a use restriction to ensure that the additional premises is used solely for the operating of a learning center, as outlined above, and for no other purposes. The design for the Learning Center project is subject to review and approval by the city's Design Review Board, and the Federation must obtain all approval and permits required to build the Learning Center. Renderings depicting the preliminary concept design approved as part of the lease amendment is included on this screen. In consideration for the city's lease of the additional premises, the lease amendment provides that the Federation would be solely responsible for developing, designing, constructing, operating, and maintaining the Learning Center at the Federation's sole cost and expense, with no city funding whatsoever. The lease amendment provides that the term of the lease, which currently expires on March 7, 2099, would be extended for an additional 21 years. The lease amendment also includes project milestones for the completion of the Learning Center, with the goal of obtaining Design Review Board approval of the Learning Center within 2 years of the effective date of the lease amendment, and completing the project within 3 years thereafter. The lease amendment further provides that until the commencement of construction for the Learning Center, the city will continue to utilize the additional premises as a surface parking lot. Pursuant to Section 1.03b3 of the City Charter, the amendment requires approval by 60% of the voters voting in a citywide referendum. This referendum won if passed by 60% of voters, would extend the lease for an additional 21 years and would add the additional premises to the lease for the Federation's construction and operation of the Learning Center, promoting tolerance and human rights. Miami Beach Straw Ballot Question 1. The second ballot question is as follows. Non-binding straw ballot question, citywide. Changing alcoholic beverage establishment sales, consumption, termination time. City law allows, subject to exceptions, the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages at alcoholic beverage establishments throughout the city from 8 a.m. until 5 a.m. the following day. Would you support changing this 5 a.m. termination time to 2 a.m. throughout the city, with specific locations and related restrictions and exceptions to be determined by City Commission by ordinance? Here's an explanation of the second ballot question. Over the past decade, the city has experienced increasing challenges associated with alcoholic beverage sales consumption, particularly during the early morning hours, placing significant demands on the city's police, fire, and code compliance departments. As part of the City Commission's multi-pronged approach of strategies to address these challenges, and in an effort to achieve long-term solutions, the City Commission is presenting the city's voters the opportunity to provide the Commission with their advisory, non-binding opinion on whether there should be a rollback of alcohol hours from 5 a.m. to 2 a.m. Specifically, the above straw ballot question asks whether city law should be changed to make 2 a.m. the termination time for the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages at alcoholic beverage establishments throughout the city, subject to future city ordinance establishing related restrictions and exceptions. Under current city law, the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages at alcoholic beverage establishments is generally allowed from 8 a.m. until 5 a.m. the following day, except as noted below. The sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages at alcoholic beverage establishments is generally allowed from 8 a.m. until 2 a.m. the following day, but only in the following 4 areas of the city: Sunset Harbor neighborhood from Dade Boulevard to 20th Street between Alton Road and Purdy Avenue, 41st Street area in Mid-Beach from 40th Street to 42nd Street between Indian Creek and Alton Road, south of 5th neighborhood, south of 5th Street, and CD2 properties on the west side of Alton Road between 5th Street and Collins Canal, except for alcoholic beverage establishments fronting Lincoln Road between West Avenue, which currently have a 5 a.m. termination time for the sale and consumption of alcoholic beverages. Notwithstanding the above, the 2 a.m. termination time in the above areas does not apply to certain establishments that were previously licensed for the sale, consumption of alcoholic beverages until 5 a.m. before the 2 a.m. rollbacks in those areas were enacted. Figure 1 depicts the various areas of the city where alcoholic beverages may currently be served and consumed on premises until 2 a.m. In addition, city law also currently allows alcoholic beverage establishments that are permitted to serve alcohol for on-premises consumption until 5 a.m. to continue to serve alcoholic beverages until 7 a.m. on New Year's Day and other major events on weekends, as may be designated by the City Commission, provided certain conditions are satisfied. As of the date this voter's guide was filmed, the City Commission has not discussed what specific exceptions and restrictions would apply to a 2 a.m. termination time or rollback. Before making such decisions, the City Commission first believed it is important to obtain an indication of the general trend of a city voter opinion on this termination time issue, before proceeding further with any concept for a 2 a.m. rollback in any additional areas of the city. So, for purposes of your vote on this issue, the decision before you is whether you support in concept this 2 a.m. termination time change in additional areas throughout the city, knowing that if enacted by the City Commission, it would be subject to restrictions and exceptions presently unknown to be enacted by the Commission. If approved by the city's voters, this measure may then be considered by the City Commission for possible future legislation, which, if enacted, would specify the exceptions and restrictions to a 2 a.m. termination time. Any such exceptions and restrictions to a 2 a.m. rollback would be adopted via ordinance of the City Commission, ensuring the public's right to continue to voice their opinions on the matter prior to adoption of any ordinance. Miami Beach Referendum 2. The third ballot question is as follows. Amending lease of city property, Smith & Wollensky Restaurant site at South Point Park. City's lease of 0.56 acres of property to 1 Washington Avenue Corp. for Smith & Wollensky Restaurant in South Point Park expires November 2025. Per Resolution 2021-31805, shall this lease be extended through December 2045 plus renewal options, restaurant providing minimum $3,305,970 in restaurant upgrades, rent greater of guaranteed rent increased annually by 2.5%, $11,680,085 over first 10 years or percentage of revenues, free restaurant mentorship seminars, park security gate installation. Here's an explanation of the third ballot question. The city is the owner of the property at 1 Washington Avenue, Miami Beach, Florida, which is currently leased to 1 Washington Avenue Corp., tenant, for the operation of the Smith & Wollensky Restaurant in South Point Park, the restaurant. The tenant has been the long-term operator of the Smith & Wollensky restaurant since on or about 1997. The existing lease for the restaurant property expires on November 6, 2025. On July 28, 2021, following 2 public hearings, the Mayor and City Commission adopted Resolution Number 2021-31805, approving an amended and restated lease agreement, Lease Amendment, which would replace the existing lease for the restaurant effective January 1st, 2022. If this ballot question is approved by the voters, the lease amendment, among other things, would extend the term of the lease through December 31st, 2145, plus 2 consecutive renewal options of 10 years each, provide for an increase in the annual rent paid to the city consisting of the greater of $1,042,550 guaranteed rent, subject to a 2.5% annual escalator, or 9% of the gross revenues of the restaurant's operation. Require the tenant to complete a minimum of $3,305,970 in tenant upgrades to the restaurant at tenant's sole cost and expense, including any improvements that may be necessary to satisfy the 40-year recertification for the building, all of which must be completed within 5 years. Obligate the tenant to provide multiple community benefits at tenant's sole cost and expense, including a free monthly lunch for seniors living in the nearby Rebecca Towers elderly housing complex, a free mentorship program for the Miami Beach startup restaurants and bars given by Smith & Wollensky, and reimbursement by the tenant for the city's costs in buying and installing security electric gates at the entrance to the South Point Park parking lot, and restructure the existing parking arrangement for required parking for the restaurant to provide for greater public parking as addressed more fully below. As compared to the city's existing lease for the restaurant, the lease amendment will be increasing the minimum guaranteed rent by over 10 times to $1,042,550 per year. Additionally, as compared to the city's existing lease, the percentage rent will increase by more than double the amount of the existing percentage rent to 9% of the restaurant's gross sales. Under the new lease amendment, the tenant will be solely responsible for all maintenance expenses, property taxes, insurance, and other public charges for the restaurant building. In addition to and separate from the lease amendment in Resolution Number 2021-31806, the City Commission approved a new 9-year concession agreement with the tenant, effective January 1st, 2022, for a concession area of up to 1,450 square feet for a portion of the outdoor seating of the restaurant. Under the new concession agreement, the city will annually receive the greater of minimum guaranteed rent in the amount of $400,000 or 10% of the gross revenues derived from the operation of the concession area. Although the existing lease does not expire until November 6, 2025, the tenant has agreed to start paying higher rent approximately 3 years earlier, effective January 1st, 2022. During this ramp-up period between 2022 and 2025, the total rent payments by the tenant under the lease amendment and the separate concession agreement will consist of $1,250,000 for lease year 2022, $1,500,000 for lease year 2023, $1,750,000 for lease year 2024, and $2 million for lease year 2025. During this initial rent ramp-up period, the lease amendment will permit the city to immediately realize an increase in rent as compared to the rent under the existing agreements. The existing lease provides the tenant with the right to use up to 105 parking spaces in the parking area located adjacent to the restaurant as part of the required parking for the operation of the restaurant. Under the new lease amendment, the city may designate up to 50 of the 105 parking spaces for public parking during off-peak hours, Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. excluding holidays. The city will place signage on the 50 designated parking spots to identify the enhanced parking availability for public parking during off-peak hours. In Resolution Number 2021-31808, the Mayor and City Commission determined that for a minimum of 5 years, the city will dedicate a portion of the revenues the city receives under the new lease amendment and new concession agreement for public safety purposes, including police and security in South Point Park and the surrounding South of 5th neighborhood. Pursuant to Section 1.03b1 of the City Charter, the lease amendment requires approval by a majority of the voters voting in a citywide referendum. Miami Beach Straw Ballot Question 2. The fourth ballot question is as follows. Non-binding straw ballot question. Urge legislator 1% tax for homeless assistance domestic violence centers. Would you support the City Commission adopting a resolution urging the Florida legislator to amend Section 212.0306 Florida statutes to allow for collection of a 1% tax on food and beverage sales for consumption on premises in the City of Miami Beach, which would not apply to hotels and motels, in order to assist homeless person and those at risk of homelessness, and for the construction and operation of domestic violence centers? Here's an explanation of the fourth ballot question. The purpose of the straw ballot question is to present the city's voters with the opportunity to provide their advisory, non-binding opinion on whether the City Commission should urge the Florida legislator to allow for the collection of a 1% tax on food and beverage sales for consumption on premises in the City of Miami Beach, which would not apply to hotels and motels, in order to assist homeless persons and those at risk of homelessness, and for the construction and operation of domestic violence centers, the homeless and domestic violence tax. Currently, a 1% homeless and domestic violence tax is collected through Miami-Dade County, except in Miami Beach, Surfside, and Bal Harbour, on food and beverage sales by businesses that sell alcoholic beverages for on-premise consumption. Only businesses with gross annual receipts over $400,000 must collect this tax. Facilities in hotels and motels do not collect this tax. Of the 1% homeless and domestic violence tax currently collected, 85% of tax receipts are remitted to the Miami-Dade County Homeless Trust, and 15% of receipts are allocated by Miami-Dade County to domestic violence centers located throughout Miami-Dade County. Section 212.0306 Florida statutes permits any county to impose a 1% homeless and domestic violence tax in order to assist homeless persons and those at risk of homelessness, and for the construction and operation of domestic violence centers. However, sales in cities presently imposing a municipal resort tax, including the City of Miami Beach, are exempt from the 1% tax authorized under Section 212.0306. Therefore, based on the existing Florida law, Miami-Dade County may not currently impose a 1% homeless and domestic violence tax in Miami Beach. In order to do so, the Florida legislator must amend Section 212.0306 of the Florida statutes. If a majority of the city's voters vote in favor of this straw ballot measure, the City Commission may then consider whether to adopt a resolution urging the Florida legislator to amend Section 212.0306 Florida statutes to allow for Miami-Dade County to collect a 1% homeless and domestic violence tax in Miami Beach. If the resolution is adopted by the City Commission, the resolution would be transmitted to the Florida legislator for the legislator's consideration, at its sole discretion. If the Florida legislator amends Section 212.0306 to allow for the collection of a 1% homeless and domestic violence tax in Miami Beach, future legislative action by the Miami-Dade County Board of County Commissioners would likely be required. If such legislation is ultimately enacted, it is anticipated that the 1% homeless and domestic violence tax in Miami Beach would then be allocated by Miami-Dade County to the Miami-Dade County Homeless Trust and for the benefit of domestic violence centers located throughout Miami-Dade County, as described above. You have been watching our special election information show. For other election information, visit www.miamibeachfl.gov or contact the Office of the City Clerk. Thank you again for watching. Now, go out and vote, Miami Beach!